Thank you. I remember getting the Omnitrix, and they told me it was the ultimate weapon in the universe. Not just a weapon. The canceled Ben 10 movie Warner Bros. Planned has remained a recurring topic among fans. Warner Bros. Initially planned a live-action Ben 10 movie. In 2011, it was announced that Hollywood producer Joe Silver was working on this project. That was over 10 years ago, but what makes this news resonate today? It turns out that the rumors about the movie were true. The project to bring the live-action version of Ben 10 is real. There have been several problems since the project began. In 2012, with Ben 10 Universe's release, they already faced a significant problem. The decline of Cartoon Network and the preference for creating shows aimed at a very young audience, with unappealing animation, completely boring plots, and a heavy exploitation of reboots. In 2015, the fight for the Ben 10 movie continued, but Cartoon Network's standards kept interfering. Ben 10 Universe had ended, and rumors resurfaced about a live-action Ben 10 series. Something far from reality, Cartoon Network wasn't going to give in and would literally force the arrival of the Ben 10 reboot. This was a total downfall for the Ben 10 franchise, which although it stayed afloat thanks to its target audience, and well, thanks to the spectacular season finales that are really worth it, it never really fit in. I say this knowing the reboot has 5 seasons and is a kid's show. Now, the idea of making a movie for a more serious audience, especially as a live action, was a crazy idea. An impossible mission. On top of all these problems, add the pandemic, which literally stopped the world. With so many projects piling up, Ben 10 needed an ending immediately. Due to strong demand for a Ben 10 movie, they delivered Ben 10 Versus, the final Ben 10 movie, The Universe. A movie that had nothing to do with what had been planned for more than 10 years, just to give you an idea. The last live-action Ben 10 movie was the 2009 film Ben 10, Alien Swarm, Alien Invasion. Over this time, it was revealed that there were some ideas that were confirmed, but they couldn't come to light. The movie will be a more mature and ambitious take on the animated series, targeting an adult audience. The movie would be based on Ben 10 Ultimate Alien and Ben's journey to becoming Ben 10,000. Giving Ben Tennyson a 20-year-old and a more adult version brought a more mature focus to the character. According to the script, would it have followed Ben fighting against some threat of epic proportions? Which would point to having the biggest enemy ever seen in the Ben 10 saga. Since they based it on Ben 10 hair alien supremacy, Diagon, a dimensional being that devours dimensions, was the ideal movie antagonist. The story implies this massive, often mentioned enemy is an alien. Tokastar, a big one. In 2012, they brought us another Ben 10 movie, Ben 10 Destroy All Aliens. A movie that made little sense, added nothing, and wasn't tied to any series. Well, with the original, but even so, it was kinda weird. All the Ben 10 sagas had their movies, except for Ben 10 Omniverse. Reviewing the entire timeline shows why it wasn't approved. That adult-oriented storyline didn't fit any of these parts. They like gathering ideas, such as a colossal enemy, and using them in movies that often lacked clear meaning. Why was it cancelled? Over time, production faced several problems. One challenge was adapting the Ben 10 universe to live action. Both Warner Bros. And Silver Picture didn't seem to find a tone that worked. Another problem was that the time when the show was being produced didn't help. Alien Force and Ben 10 Ultimate Alien had a more serious, mature storyline, which was lost with Ben 10 Omniverse. Cartoon Network Studios greatly influenced events, as the previous series, Decade, targeted a much younger audience. All these factors made the live-action Ben 10 movie project drift further away. The project was shelved but not discarded. Everyone agreed a good Ben 10 movie could succeed. That's why every so often you would hear that a new Ben 10 movie was going to be made the following year. The movie project itself was never discarded. Not having clear ideas led to its license expiring. That's how we officially learned about this project. Tom Holland was considered for a live-action Ben 10, but despite his fame, he chose not to take the role. The reason? Tom Holland was very committed to his role as Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which took up too much of his time. He also worried that playing another young hero in the Ben 10 universe might typecast him as only one type of character. A real shame. Considering all this, he could have been a special Ben Tennyson. Could the project have been saved? Today, I'd say yes. In the video, we've seen glimpses of a possible live-action Ben 10, with Tom Holland as the main character, facing several challenges, including finding the Trix unidentified flying object and all the consequences that come with it. These trailers are a spectacular way to represent what was really intended. A mature project that might have saved the franchise. I think not making the movie until now was also the right decision. For years, many projects have had to adapt to television network formats to succeed, in quotes. The Ben 10 reboot is a clear example of this. After having had a live action like Dragon Ball Z, the best thing they could do is avoid embarrassment. With everything you've seen, I'd like to ask you, would you like to see a live action Ben 10 movie? And in these current times, do you think it would have been a success or a failure? I'll read your comments. And, by the way, tell me which is your favorite Ben 10. I'm going to start working on a summary of the Ben 10 movies. With Prophet Dave in 2025, Adonai, the first subscriber to join channel memberships, will be featured in an epic video on the channel. If you'd like to join, membership is open. That's all from me. Remember, I'm Frio10mil, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.